Now, Africanism is based on relative truth.
Okay.
You see, Ripe, you have your own truth.
Oh, yeah.
Andre, you have your own
Oh,
truth.
yeah.
You see,
All right. I think it's coming.
you see,
Yeah,
each and every one of us can find God based on where we are. So for Africans, our God, he comes from this line, from these ancestors. Our parents knew him, the parents before them, they knew him. That's how we relate to God. Sometimes as Africans, we get so caught up in the European style of dressing that, Andre, if you're going to preach up, I'm telling you, but you must wear your tie.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
you? But
Yeah.
we had a situation where Ted Wilson came once to preach at a crusade we had some years back. Even some American or even SID representatives, when they come to preach, if those guys are not wearing ties, the elders will keep quiet. Deacons will keep quiet. Hey, they're not going to tell him anything.
They can't.
You, Andre.
There are things that whites go through that we don't go through
And we don't
on both ends.
Okay.
So there are things that they suffer that we don't necessarily
Yeah.
suffer. Even though we do suffer from sin in the same way.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I see.
categorically, it's different. You know, we have a lot of financial problems.
Yeah. Hey, money. Yeah. Africa.
Are you
We don't have. We only have raw materials.
So they
Yeah.
come to Africa, they take the raw materials and they see the land, they colonize. But
Yeah.
you know, we didn't really need to do that.
Yeah.
The sun,
We have
the crops are
everything.
good, everything. The women are good, the men
Yeah.
are good.
Blessed are those.
I'm seeing a heavy on this side.
So you see, our wives, they're good, everything is sharp.
Yeah.
So we didn't. So it's not that we're less intellectually capable, but we didn't necessarily need to advance fast because our life did not depend on it. But for them,
Yeah,
they had to,
they had to be quick.
they had to be quick, or
Yeah,
else
yeah,
they
yeah.
died.
You know, we have a tradition in Rhythm and Charts.
Yeah.
So our tradition is that a guest that comes leaves a question for the guest that's coming.
Okay.
So our previous guest, he left a question and he's saying, with all that's happening in this world, is it possible to still find a job today? A job, we are referring the character of Job in the Bible. So the question is, if all that's happening right now, is it still possible to find a job today?
Okay. I thought you meant a job as in employment.
When he
Yeah,
said
we
that question, I also
actually-
felt
yeah.
like, hey.
Even in our previous, we
Yeah.
actually try to make sure that no, we
Not
are not
employment.
employment.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's not a job as a work.
Yeah.
A Job
As
the
a
man Job who
character in
lived
the
in
Bible.
the-
Yeah.
Yes.
in the land of Uz. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it is possible. I'll tell you why. Because God always has a remnant. No, it doesn't matter how far into sin and degeneracy the world goes. There's always going to be that small. Even if you take the case of, for example, Noah, there was a lot of sin going on at that time, and for God to prevent all the righteousness from being snuffed out, he had to save at least one Job, which was Noah. Yeah. So if that Job, which was Noah at that time, was gone, he was going to flood the whole world, start from scratch. So the only reason why even today God hasn't pretty much burnt up the whole world is because there's still a few jobs left and he needs to preserve them, to the end.
Yeah, you never thought of it, eh?
Man,
Me
and you
too.
see what he's actually saying? It's
Yeah.
also reminding me of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yes.
Remember,
100%.
For it to be delayed, to be burned,
Yeah.
there was still Lot there. So even Abraham would negotiate.
He was
with God to
negotiating,
say,
he was negotiating for Job.
if you find, until it get to only Lot's family,
Yeah.
which was found missing.
100%.
With all that's happening, you can still find a job. Anyways,
100%.
like hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to it. This is Rhythm and Charts, and as you have heard, our guest is Mr. Rodney.
Mr. Rod.
And yes, Mr. Mandaza, and my name is Ripe. The
Yes,
topic
sir,
that we're
yes, sir.
diving into today is fascinating, and we are Africans. We have the rights to discuss it. You have seen the
100%.
description. yeah. By the way, I got this topic from your podcast, that side.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
yes,
That
yes,
was-
Then
yes,
I
yes.
told
nice
them,
one,
this
yeah.
is a very nice topic, and I have lack of information. Why not bring someone who can explain to us,
In fact, I'm not even the best to explain it. So
Yeah,
most
yeah.
of the points that I got, it's from me listening to you. You heard the guy who was specializing in that was Mfundo.
Mfundo was like,
so I had to understand exactly what he was saying before I, internalize it. So I'm here on his behalf. So I should have sent him like, hey, dude, you know this better than
he was supposed to come.
he was supposed to come, but I'll try my best.
All right, with someone who's sitting there, Africa and the Bible. He's now maybe confused like I was to say, now what is the difference between Africanism and Christianism? When I'm saying Christianism, I'm talking about Christianity. Maybe in your own best way, how best can you explain to us the difference between Africanism and Christianism, if ever there's a difference?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. In my experience, human beings were the same. We all worship something or someone, and we all want good things. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to get hurt. Yeah. Everybody wants to succeed. And I've noticed that with African traditional religion or ATR, there's three main issues there. The first one is that Christians try to mix the two.
Okay.
Oh. You see? So you're coming from a background of African traditional religion, but then you meet Jesus along the way. Or maybe even in your family, they're already mixing the two. So you mix them. So you have a problem there already.
Yeah, we've seen that. Yeah.
You see, the second problem is that African traditional religionists argue that African traditional religion is indigenous or it's unique.
Okay.
There's nothing like it. Okay. Which is also what you call this. It's a fallacy.
Okay.
That's wrong. And then the third problem is that this Christianity, which we now have, which is from the Bible, Bible Christianity, it was brought on the backs of slavers. So whites came with it to enslave the black people, even the South American people. It came with whips and all that stuff. And we never had it until the white man. So the white man, we came with his white Jesus and all that stuff. And to me, those three things are a problem, which I guess through this podcast, maybe we can try to dissect. But essentially, there is no difference in religions in that they want to worship somebody who they gain some sort of value from. No difference. But how we approach it is different. That's why we cannot mix the two.
This is powerful, man.
Oh, well, Mr. Mandas, do you have any thought there?
Yeah, on this one, it's always controversial.
It is.
Actually, like what he was saying, we especially as black or in the African culture, we always want to put Africa like it's alone there.
100%.
It's Africa, so we have our own religion as Africans. So now if it's Christianity, foreign thing to us now.
Yes.
Or maybe I could agree to say, when Jesus was saying this gospel, now go with it, all the nations. Anybody. For everyone now. But now, since we are discussing in this context, the problem now, because in Africa now, it's standing alone. Christianity mustn't come in. It mustn't. If you are actually discussing this issue, they would say Christianity is a problem. It mustn't come in.
It shouldn't.
You are an African, stick to what is African. But now, if I go to Jesus, Jesus is saying, no, this gospel must all the nations, to all the tongues, kindred, every human being. So that is where my issue is, and my own understanding with that.
I'm not sure if I'm really getting you guys. For me to still understand, are you saying there is no difference between Africanism and Christianism?
Okay, maybe let me explain. I like that question.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it that. And I was speaking to to some ladies about the truth. Now, Africanism is based on relative truth.
Okay.
You see, Ripe, you have your own truth.
Oh, yeah.
Andre, you have your own truth.
Yeah,
you see,
all right. So I think it's coming.
You see, each and every one of us can find God based on where we are. So for Africans, our God, he comes from this line, from these ancestors. Our parents knew him. The parents before them, they knew him. That's how we relate to God. You have your God, you're from Norse, you're from Greece, you have your own gods. But from all these supposed truths, which one is the truth? Because what we're looking for is the truth, not a truth.
Not the relevant one.
Yeah.
So we're looking for the truth.
Yeah.
So now God invites us, like he says in the Bible, that come, let's reason together. Let's see. If you compare all these things together and look at it scientifically, and you look at it from a religious aspect, even historically, God is supposed to reveal himself as the truth. So you're supposed to find him as the truth, not a truth. So it doesn't matter where you come from, whether you're from Xhosa land, from Zulu land, you're from Zimbabwe, from Malawi. If you investigate what is truth, you're supposed to find Jesus at the bottom of it. That means you should be able to separate yourself from whatever your parents believed.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you believed, and find what is the truth.
Yeah.
What is the truth?
That's true. And I'll say it like this. So I'm so sorry for taking
that's
time.
fine.
Yeah, please.
There was once a story told about how even cultures are determined. So a guy comes, and I think I'm butchering the story, but he has this cat, and then he sort of draws, he paints a picture of a cat. And then over time, people are asking, what's this painting? Oh, no, an old man, my father before him, he painted this cat because this cat looks nice. And then someone the next one says that, okay, he painted it looks nice because it gives him comfort. Then the next generation is going to say it gives him protection. You see, and then the next one is going to be like, this cat is divine. So over the years, the cat has gone from being a drawing to being a god. And then when you attach to it so much, just because your parents and your parents believed that this thing is a god, you don't even know where it starts from.
You know, when you're saying that,
they just painted something.
When you're saying that, I remember there was also this other thing. It's not really about the topic, but just to add on what you're saying, say sometimes it's all about because someone is doing this, then it becomes something.
It becomes
there was some saying to say that when I do a scene right now and I regret, but I still go on, the next person who's gonna look at me, they will be like, oh, it's a sin, but he's doing it.
Normal.
And the next person that comes after the one who's saying it becomes normal. It's no longer a sin. So I get what you're going with.
That's very.
I wanted to I will take it with the way people understand Africanism and Christianism. Differentiating it to say, there's a certain practices in Africa that we practice and it becomes something that many people maybe believe, aside from what's really the truth. And now there's also Christianity on the side. I want to know from you guys. It's a tricky one to say. Us as African, we are sitting here. Do you think we are Christian first or African first?
But as he's saying, it's a very tricky.
It is
tricky.
It is tricky.
What comes, are you an African first? Yeah. Then a Christian or a Christian.
Maybe let me ask, is it possible to be, are you talking about chronologically or in your essence? I'll explain. Chronologically means which one were you identified with first? Because that one is it's standard. When I'm born, I'm an African.
Yes.
If I choose Jesus later on, I become a Christian second. But now, does that mean that being a Christian is subordinate to being an African just because it came second?
That's what I'm talking about. To say when now you are born an African.
Yes.
To fight that one. Now when you're a person we've grown up, we have an understanding, we know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How like
what should define you?
Most? Like what something to say. If someone is asking you right now, but I feel like this is now obvious. I'm coming to the obvious answer to say, if someone is asking you, would you say you are an African or a Christian?
That's interesting.
I think, man, already you can't run away for the fact that you're an African.
100%.
Because you're born there. This is our continent. Just like the Europeans and what, it's just the same thing. They are Europeans by nature, we are African by nature. So this nature of me being an African, I did not choose it actually, because I found myself in this continent. So automatically I'm an African. Now, coming towards to being a Christianity, that's a choice now. That's a choice. So you are choosing to be a Christian or to follow Jesus, which is the individual choice. I think that is what I can try
That's
to.
I sort of agree with you. I would put it in the sense that it's being an African or your ethnicity, the language you speak. It's open.
It's given.
It's open. For example, if they say don't judge a book by its cover, so but a book needs to be judged.
All right.
A book needs to be charged. So the value of a book is based on what's inside it, right?
Yes.
Not
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it is a book. So our Africanism is that we are books. Everybody's a book. You're a
Okay.
white book. I'm a black book. You're a yellow book. You're from you're from what you call this? You're from Malta. One is
Yeah.
from Sicily. Some is from America. We're all
But
books. That's fine.
The
But
content
what's
now.
inside the book? That's defines.
content,
Is
yeah.
it Islam? Is it Buddhism? Is it African religious, traditional religion? Is it Christianity? That's now what's the value of the book. So I don't think we can say that being a book is your highest trait more than being what's in the book, or the reverse. I think both can be true at the same time. You see, so I'm a Christian, but I'm an African Christian. So my Africanism doesn't define my value. But the what I hold inside my heart, that's what defines the value. It's like what Martin Luther King said: we shouldn't be judged based on the color of our skin,
Yes,
but by
yes.
the content of the character.
Yeah.
So Christianity
Oh,
defines the content, and then your skin, your language, your culture, that just defines the book. You're just a book. Everybody's a book.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, it's very
Love that
interesting.
answer.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go further, but I have to move to the other one to say. Now, you did touch about the European colonialism and everything.
Yeah.
Now, when I was doing the research, I'll be honest to say I was confused, between this colonialism, then there are those missionaries. There's two similar things in both sides,
Yeah.
When colonialism comes here, they now take out who you are and they bring something into the system, Similarly happens with the missionaries. They find you here, you are someone who knows nothing, or actually there's no way, like you said, there's no way that you know nothing.
Yeah.
As a human
definitely.
being,
Yeah.
there's a higher power you believe in.
Sure.
And now, when the missionary comes, they do similarly to what the colonialism do, to say they will take out your beliefs and all the cultures that you know to make you believe in a certain way, So I want to know from you guys, in your own understanding, to say how best can you separate the two when there's such similarities in both the
Both
system.
Yeah. It's systemic. You're right, because for example, in your culture, you might the women might not wear anything at the top. Even the gentlemen, also the women, they might be dressed very revealingly. And now, if a missionary comes, what missionaries in fact used to do, because people paint a bad picture about missionaries. They always say they come and then they force. But missionaries, what they used to do is when they come, they first learn the language. So they want to integrate. Because Christ's method is to enter the people and understand them, and get to know them, and you build affection, that rapport with them. That's when you can spread the gospel. So that's what they did. When they came in, they would learn the language of the people, learn their customs, and fit in, do what the Romans do, but as close as possible not to sin. So
Just like Paul.
yes, some of them were even extreme.
Yeah.
Just like Paul. Some of them
Just
were even
like- yeah.
extreme. They'll even go as extreme as I know one story of one missionary even going naked because the people are naked.
Oh, okay.
So-
That's gonna fit in there.
so
yes.
if it was me, I'd be like, okay, that's a bit on the
You know,
rough side.
yeah.
That's not me. But there are extreme missionaries who would even get into even the attire of the people, become naked. And then now, once you understand the people, you have to start now attacking those tenets of their culture which go against the tenets of the Bible. Now, the brilliant thing about being a missionary is that you have the power of the Holy Spirit. So when the Holy Spirit touches those people, even when you speak, it's not going to, they won't fight as much as they would if you just come there. Like if I come there today and say, hey guys, what you're doing is wrong. I don't even know these people. I don't know
Yeah.
the culture. I'm like, hey, put on some clothes, man.
All right.
They'll be like, hey, dude, you don't
Yeah.
know us.
What do you mean?
What do you
What's
mean?
going-
And
yeah.
they'll probably end up
Who do you think
stabbing
you
you
are?
because there's some,
You see
there's
now
some
you're
bad guy.
fighting.
Yeah, they'll fight you. But when
Yeah.
the Holy Spirit comes with working with the missionaries, they get into the people, they understand who they are, they gain their affection. And then when they start to preach to them, they'll get rid of those parts of their culture which go against the Bible, go against the Spirit.
Yes.
But there is parts of their culture, like their language, their customs, their festivals, that are not immoral in any way, and those are fine. So this is what now the colonialist missionaries, so to speak, this is what they wanted to do. They wanted to reverse everything about Africans.
Yeah.
everything.
Yes.
Not just what you call this, not just the nakedness, the drinking of blood in some cultures, eating of the cannibalism in some cultures, the justice system in some cultures which were unjust. No, they wanted to overturn everything. But that's not what every missionary did. So of course the stories we hear of are the missionaries that try to force even the culture of the white culture, maybe even the Jewish culture, but it's mostly the white culture. Try to force that culture on the blacks. And I think the gospel would be better received if you come in and allow me to speak my language, allow me to continue with my festivals, because they are not sinful in any way. So I think that was the problem that they faced.
Do you have any thoughts there?
I don't want to allude much from what, because he said what was actually happening when the missionaries came in. Because some, they were genuine.
Sure.
They actually came for the gospel. But some now, because when they come here, they saw the value of what was here.
Sure.
Some, they saw gold and stuff. So now they were taking advantage
100%.
of what was on the
The
ground.
human nature kicked in.
So human nature kicked in. Yeah, you are right, man. Human nature kicked in. They forgot the mission, which is the gospel, for it to be spread. So I think, but he said everything.
All right.
I'm fine, yeah.
We are Christians, we believe in God, and we've been in the church. I'll talk about the Adventists as we are all Adventists. To say, do you not think that in a way, what we are saying we are practicing at church as Christianism or being Christian, in a way, do you not think it's more of European? You know, also maybe there was a time we went to Berea that time.
Oh yeah, we had the culture day.
The culture day, and the topic was saying, what was it saying? Adventism meeting culture, or
I think
they say when Adventism meets culture, so Africa,
Because also that's why I was trying to see the difference between the two. So I want to know, do you not think like we are practicing more of European, even the way we wear? I don't really, but when it comes to wearing, I really don't know.
Wearing what are we supposed to wear?
It's controversial.
It's very
what are we supposed to wear?
For me, I used to like as an old Adventist like you guys. Hey man, I used to be so tied up in the European style of wearing. I thought that was righteousness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
we are made to believe like
yes, and they tell you, hey, dude, you can't go up into the pulpit without a tie. You need to wear such. Now, I understand the conservatives. I understand where they come from, and I have a deep respect for them and affection for them, because I know they feel they're afraid of what would happen if we just open the doors. And if we take off the tie, what are you going to take off next? You're going to bring a t-shirt. So they're afraid of that. It's just like drums, you know?
Oh, yes.
Ellen White, even in the Bible, there's no banning of drums per
there's
se.
Advising.
There's advising that.
There's cancelling.
Yes. Usually the statement they use is that quotation that says that I've seen the things that you have spoken about. They're going to happen towards the end of the world. There'll be a lot of drums and noise and humdrum.
And
so now they use that to say that
man.
you should remove drums altogether. That there's no ban on drums, just like there's no ban on certain things of dressing. But people are scared of what would happen if we just open it up.
When everything is open.
You made an example of drums. And I feel like I really relate now.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in that way to say, if you're taking the tie, what's next? You know? Because
when
you look at how the music is being presented right now, it's because it was one of those things you allow just, okay, it's fine, you can try. But now it will always escalate to
But now
a point.
my question is, should you curtail something because of the fear of it getting out of hand?
Hey.
But with people, man, and with how we are so different, like what you're saying, because now when everything is on the open, I mean, we would get to extremes.
Yeah, you get to extremes.
I feel like already we are somewhere there in the extremes. Even true. The music is different. The music.
And it differs. It differs though from church to church. I've seen I've seen churches that I went to a church in Soweto once, a very small church, a nice church. Elder was dressed in normal pants, but he was dressed in Converse. His shoes were chilled.
Okay.
Everything seemed normal and okay. You know, and it was okay. And I've realized that in some instances, it usually depends on the person. But of course, you don't want to make an excuse. That's why we don't make those, and I'm being careful now, we don't make those sweeping statements that, hey, you dress the way you want. We don't do that. But it doesn't mean that just because somebody is not dressed in a tie or they're just in Converse and they're standing on the pub does not mean that the Spirit's not
It's
leading
not
them.
there.
You cannot judge that.
You cannot
can't.
say that.
You see, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why we're
yeah.
stuck between a rock and a hard place. How do we,
You're stuck here.
navigate that? How do you navigate that?
Yeah.
So maybe back to your question about attire or practicing things in the African way. I think if we practiced Africanism, like I was saying in the previous point, everything about Africanism that does not constitute a sin, I think it's okay. Wearing the African attire, and this brings back one point.
Yeah.
Sometimes as Africans, we get so caught up in the European style of dressing,
Yeah.
that Andre, if you're going to preach up, I'm telling you, Baba, you must spray your tie.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we had a situation where Ted Wilson came once to preach at a crusade we had some years back. Even some American or even SID representatives, when they come to preach, if those guys are not wearing ties, the elders will keep quiet. Deacons will keep quiet. Hey, they're not going to tell him anything.
They
But
can't.
you, Andre.
You.
But when it's me,
When it's you have
Yeah.
to. So he came, I think he was even wearing shorts and he was wearing like those safari hats.
Oh, hey.
Because it was hot.
Oh.
And he was wearing a chilled, this shirt. I think it was a normal, maybe those bass, those bass shirts, the farming ones.
Oh,
yeah, I've seen those ones.
He's dressing up, he's standing up to preach. No one is saying anything.
It's fine.
It's okay. Even so, when the Europeans and the Americans, when they graduate and they understand that dress is about modesty, it's not about the tie. We get left behind, fussing about ties and
suits.
so rigid.
Yeah.
Dude, those guys will be wearing suits and it's 45 degrees outside, and you're sweating. You're about to get a
Man.
heat stroke, but you think
They're not
it's-
even comfortable now in church. You're now thinking I'm sweating. Yeah.
And then when the white
Yeah.
man comes and the white man is dressed plainly and he stands up to preach, and you wonder, where did we get it wrong?
Yeah.
Why are we so zealous about
We
it?
are very.
Dude, so rigid about something that they've let go of.
Yeah.
So,
Mr. Mandas, what are your thoughts, man? I mean, like, do you not feel like we are practicing more of European culture than just being Christian?
than us.
Yeah.
Maybe to say something on that. In our African culture, I think it depends on what you are really practicing.
Sure.
Because now, if I would say in church, right, in church, okay, I'm practicing. And now I'm bringing certain instruments, which mostly they are being used in the ancestral worship.
That's
I'm saying no, I'm being African, but now it's now what going against. You can So I think on what actually Rodney was saying is there are certain things which we're practicing. Because okay, us as Africans, we cannot actually wipe out the whole thing to say we have never known God.
Yeah.
I think that is the idea which is out there. Or maybe people think that no, white people bring God to us. But it's not true, man. Africa, from since we've seen it even in the existence, even if we are reading the Bible.
Yeah.
African people knew God. The Ethiopian eunuch, you can tell that he used to go to Jerusalem to worship. Where is Ethiopia? It's in Africa. So this whole thing of saying us as Africans, we don't even know how to worship God. So now it's like the Europeans or the white men came with the way we should be worshiping God. That is so wrong. Us as African people, we knew God. We knew God. So it's something else. I don't know.
And not just God, like an idea of God.
No.
But the way the disciples disseminated Christianity back at that time. So in fact, it's the most authentic version of Christianity with the Africans, even before the Europeans came.
Yes.
Okay.
Powerful.
Maybe to bring in the light, you guys are saying black knew God before the whites. And, most of us, even me, I won't lie to try to seem as if I know. I don't know.
Okay.
To be honest, I in my own small knowledge, I genuinely there's a side of me that really believes no, man. We started knowing God because of the whites, But maybe I just want you to elaborate further, going back to history and showing how that the blacks were there, before even the whites and everything. How best can you explain to someone who really believes, or hey, no, we are coming, or we know this knowledge of God because of the white. Maybe also from the Bible. I did the research, and there's something along the descendants of Noah and everything. So maybe just to help someone who doesn't know and who really believes that whites are the reason we know God, how best can you explain to them? No. Yeah.
I can go. All right. So that example I've given for that Ethiopian, you can find it in Acts chapter 8.
Okay.
I believe. So if you read the whole chapter, there, you can see that, this was an African who knows that there is worship in Jerusalem.
Sure.
Is worship of a true God in Jerusalem. Because remember back then, the temple which was believed to be the temple, it was in Jerusalem. So if you are doing true worship, you are going there. So I think with the event then, it's like you are going to a camp meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So they knew that there's a camp meeting. This thing it didn't start now. Hence I'm saying, I don't know where it's coming from. Say that us as Africans, we never knew God. It's only the white man when he comes in.
And we
started knowing God. That is never true.
Okay.
Look at even the story of I'm in the Bible. Yeah. The story of Moses.
Yes.
Where did Moses grow up? Egypt. Where is Egypt? Egypt is in Africa.
Yeah.
You see, the time of Herod, King Herod, Jesus was born. Where did he run away to Mary and Joseph when Herod was busy killing all the children? Egypt.
Okay.
So we are seeing the map of Africa in the Bible.
Yeah.
Way before I'm talking way before colonialism. This is where, because I think I'm not quite sure where colonialism started.
That word is difficult.
It's tough.
Around 1600s, around that.
Right.
Yeah,
17th century.
I'm speaking of BC, before even Christ came.
Okay,
We are seeing a number of Africans contributing, into the worshiping of God. You see, so even Moses married a black woman. It's clear, it's in the Bible.
Yes.
The wife of Moses was a black woman. So I don't know, man. Like, I don't know where people need to find a balance to say. But now it's a lot of people being brainwashed.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was the plan for the devil, actually, especially in our continent.
Sure.
To say that we never knew God. So this thing is foreign. Remember, the devil wants to be worshipped.
Yeah.
So now if you come to Africanism, we are now being directed to ancestral worship.
Yes.
That's true.
Because the devil wants to be worshipped. It's no longer pointing us to God.
Yeah.
So now he's saying, no, this is your thing as Africans, as black people. This is how you are worshiping. Look at your grandparents, how they were doing. We are just going back to say, so my grandparent was doing, like the story which he started with of that painting.
Oh, yeah.
But you see what it ended up to now.
Yeah.
The whole religion.
The generation,
whole big, strong
like the generations coming later on, the grandkids, now they end up worshipping that cat.
Yeah.
Just a
Worshipping
random
it now.
cat out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I like what you pointed out. Sorry.
No, that's fine. No, it's fine. Yeah.
You're talking about that guy in the eunuch, the minister of
Yes.
finance in Acts. Now, if you trace his story now back, why is he a Christian? If you go back now he's speaking. This is around Christ's time.
Yeah.
Now, if you go even further back, about 970 AD, remember the story of Solomon?
Oh yeah.
Solomon.
I don't.
Solomon, son of David, where he invites the Queen Sheba.
Queen Sheba.
Now, when she comes to, he shows her now all the things that he has amassed, rich king, most wisest king. And then she asks him how he does all these things. So she now points him now to the God of the Israelites. Now, when she goes back, Solomon sends her back with some Levites. So that they can go and establish now the Judaism in Ethiopia. So she goes back. So Ethiopia is such a hub, which is Africa. So this is 900 BC. This is before. This is 1,600 years plus 900 years before the whites come. These guys' great grandparents are not born yet. So before the colonialists came, Africa already had the worship of God.
Okay.
This is before
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
even
yes.
if you move down, Ethiopia has so much about Christ. They even have the Garima Ethiopian Bible. You know that Bible? This is even before the King James version was even approved.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Bible,
yeah.
which depicts Christ, is even older than our own Bible, the one that we use every day. Now, if you move down the centuries, now you go to the day of Pentecost, when Peter is preaching that sermon that converted
Yeah,
3,000
that
people
one.
in one day.
Yeah.
There is Libyans there, and there are Cyrenians. They remember Simon of Cyrene, the guy who
Simon
helped
of-
Jesus,
yeah, yeah, Simon of-
African guy. So
Yeah.
you have Africans listening to that sermon. Now, when they listen to that sermon that Peter is preaching, they're wondering, how can we hear in our language when this guy is a Jew?
He's Hebrew. Yeah.
So God is converting that what Peter is saying into African languages so that people can understand.
I understand.
He's not doing it for the whites only. Remember, there are no whites now. The whites are in Turkey, they're in Rome, and all that stuff. So everybody's there together, and the Africans can understand what Peter's trying to
Was
say. He's
saying.
trying to say, "You guys crucified Jesus. He has risen again. He has risen again. Get baptized."
Oh,
So that's where
yeah.
the Christians. So the Cyrene was also there, and then I think Ethiopia became a monarchy, a Christian monarchy. So now they declared it as the national religion. This is
Yes.
330 AD.
Okay.
So forward 330. So after 330 years after Christ died, Ethiopia declares Christianity as the national religion.
Yeah.
So you see, Christianity is not just established as a religion, but even as a national religion in an African country before the whites even came. In fact, Ethiopia is one of the nations that the whites failed to colonize.
Yeah.
And that has
Which makes sense,
that has
yeah.
to do with even the Sabbath, but I think we'll get to it in a later
okay.
subject.
Yeah, yeah.
Which reminds me, sorry, the last point.
Yeah.
Christianity is so foundational to African countries that even in our languages,
Yeah.
the Sabbath is ingrained. If you look at Nguni languages, Mkebelo, the
Yeah,
end
yeah,
of,
Sabbath is
Ndebele,
there.
Venda.
even in
Yeah,
Venda,
in
Saturday,
Ndebele, yeah.
the end of the week is called
like-
is the end. So
Yeah.
as African countries, we could have chosen any other day to be the end. But why do we have the Sabbath as the last day, the rest day? Because they knew we had Judeo-Christian values before the whites came, that it's even in our languages. Even in South American languages, they call it Sabado. In so many languages, Turkish,
it has a lot
everybody.
of-
Exactly.
Man.
So God has already expressed himself before the white people came to colonize. What they came to do was to use the Bible as a tool to get, like what you said,
Yeah.
the diamond, the gold, the manpower, the magnesium, the women,
Everything.
even everything,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
the men.
Yeah.
So God was here way before.
As manpower, they were slaves there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
America was
they were
built by
slaves.
us.
So
Yeah.
before even the white people came with the whip, God was already here first.
Yeah. No, that's powerful. It's very powerful.
Okay. Even the slaves.
Even
I'm
the
stuck
slaves.
in
Even
the
the-
slave part. Now,
Yeah.
now I don't know if you still have anything to add on the subject of like what we are talking about right now. Because I wanna know, when you say the slave, comes to my mind to say there's a so-called slave Bible. and
I've heard of that. I don't know what it is though.
Yeah, even me, like,
You have.
I've heard of
Do you
it,
know what's
but even
happening
the
with this?
I don't know the content inside them.
Yeah, me either. I
Yeah.
suspect it's some kind of. I think now somebody mentioned to me. I'm remembering it's a Bible that is contorted to show how white people are above. I think the blacks. I think it's one of those
Why?
Bibles that
Oh.
those people in the South probably used. You can correct me. I might be wrong on that. To make it seem as though blacks are less than human, so they can subjugate them. I
okay,
think something like
alright.
that. I may be wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a
And
messed
this
up
one,
version.
You say something and
I
out
don't
of,
wanna
out
lie.
of context, just a question in my mind, Just want to know your thoughts, you guys. Just say, do you not think, Mara, whites are more superior than us in a way?
I like that question. I love
Yeah.
that question.
That's
You
a
know, in
very
a way, like
It's
you
a good
don't-
question.
you don't
It's a
feel
good
like-
question.
No, man. It's like maybe
It's a good- yeah.
to add up in the question to say like, God, let's not lie to each other. God
Yeah.
has favorites and He will choose.
okay.
He will choose, even if it's not favorite, but God will choose. Just like back in the days, He chose the Israelites. They were His chosen nation. I do not feel like maybe in our time the Europeans, the white, are the Israelites of then.
Of then.
Yeah.
I would say this, ne?
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
going to be careful when I say this.
Yeah. Need to be careful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think ne, we have two streams of reality that are running parallel to each other. You know, there's the main one, and then there's the personal one.
Okay.
So on the mainstream, just like with prophecy and everything, what God says is going to happen is going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. But what God says is going to happen to you, you can do something about that.
Okay.
You see, but they're running parallel to each other. So here it says that the righteous are going to inherit eternal life. Nothing you can do, but the wicked are going to go to hell. When on your side, you have to determine which side you're going to be on.
now.
Otherwise, this one's going to run. So it's just like with the curses. Remember when God gave the handed down curses to the sons of Noah? Yes.
Yeah.
He says this one is going to rule over this one, and this one is going to. So he's giving you a general stream of how things would go. But on the personal stream, it doesn't mean that you are going to suffer personally if you don't stick to on God's side.
Okay.
And I was explaining this with my friends that as Africans, I believe that Africans will never rise up as a nation. Not because we're dumb or anything. I think it's because, firstly, there's no time. You need 500, 1,000 years.
There's
no time.
There's no time for that.
I never thought of that.
We're in the last days.
When the last days, there's no time.
we're in the last
But
days.
it doesn't mean that you, Andre, as an individual, you can't get the good things in life according to God's will.
Yes.
So there's a major stream, but as a personal level, doesn't mean so. God does not have favorites at a personal level. He does not have. But his word he has to allow certain things to happen because he's got a grander scheme going on a general level.
Okay.
You see, so
Makes sense.
Going back to the idea of are whites superior intellectually or anything, and do they have what you call this? Do they seem to be favoring more? I'll say it like this: there are things that whites go through that we don't go through,
and we don't
on both ends.
Okay.
So there are things that they suffer that we don't necessarily suffer, even though we do suffer from sin in the same way. But categorically, it's different. You know, we have a lot of financial problems.
Hey, money. Yeah. Africa. We don't have. We only have raw materials.
We're promising them
Raw materials
to sell them,
but we have to go there.
so they can wholesale. us.
Oh,
But we don't struggle a lot when it comes to communalness and love and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And even it's only now that we're getting a bit depressed. But in general, black people are less depressed than the whites.
I don't.
Yes, we
Man, someone telling me about therapy. I'm like, what are you
What's
saying?
that? It's something that is new that's coming because we are converging in our cultures as whites and blacks. That's why we're starting to have the same problems as whites. But in general, we usually had different problems. And the reason why they seem to be succeeding more than us is because they had to.
Okay.
So if you look in the past, they have small land, their weather sucks. It's always dark.
Always cold.
It's
cold. Iceland there.
Iceland. And they don't have space to expand. So those guys need to think on their feet. They need to innovate. They need to do this. So they come to Africa, they take the raw materials and they see the land, they colonize. But you know, we didn't really need to do that. We have the sun.
We have
everything. Everything. The women are good. The men are good.
Blessed are those.
I'm seeing a heavy on this one.
So you see, our wives, they're good. Everything is sharp. So we didn't. So it's not that we're less intellectually capable, but we didn't necessarily need to advance fast because our life did not depend on it. But for them, they had to be quick, or else they die. So it makes it seem as though now that God favors them and stuff. No, he doesn't. It's situational.
Situation.
It's all situational. If it was reversed, we would have been the ones running Silicon Valley and Wall Street and all this stuff. Probably.
You know?
But because the situation is flipped, now we seem like we're cursed, and we're not cursed.
We are not. No, I don't. Actually,
the women.
By the women, you can see that we're not. By the women, you can see we're not cursed at all.
We are not.
God bless the women of Africa.
My girlfriend. The
Well,
women were blessed.
I
I would say you should come see my wife, but I don't think she'll appreciate.
I don't have.
I don't think she'll appreciate that. But God bless the women of Africa.
Definitely.
You can say we're not cursed.
We are not. That's powerful.
Do you have any thoughts? They think whites are more superior, but I think
I know, man. He said everything. He said everything.
Even things that I never imagine or think of.
You know, it makes sense because there it's ice. You know, there's no life. There's no life.
Dark.
It's dark there. I mean, there's a country they mentioned. I'm forgetting. They say even for them to see the sun maybe once or twice in a month.
You're talking about what Greenland, Iceland, they were close
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
poles.
North Pole, yeah.
close
You
to the
know,
poles.
so those people, there's no much activity which they can do there.
Yeah, that's true.
Even industry, it can't really work there.
Yeah, it can't.
So they need where even the weather is favoring them also, you know. Yeah, yeah. So
Does maybe let me ask a question. Does that mean now God favors us and not them?
Hey.
You see, but then you can answer it again like this.
Yeah.
He opens the path so that they can grow themselves. So
Yeah.
he won't stop them. So everybody
They
has
did,
their
yes.
downside. So it's almost like when it's on a balance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We fail here, but we pass here. Also, them they fail here, but they
they
pass here
pass
together.
here. Yeah.
Everybody
And also,
works out.
man, I just want to add this one. I mean, this world belongs to God.
100%.
And everyone who is on earth. Because, I mean, these divisions now, I believe it's now us. And we like to, you know, see someone suffer and stuff.
Sure.
But what I would want to believe is God wants us to enjoy this whole earth.
Sure.
Because he
All
made
of
it.
us,
He made it for us.
100%.
Adam, like when God put Adam on earth, he had dominion over everything.
Yes.
So there was no limitations. So I would like to believe that as human beings, we have no limitations. Hence, even for them to come this side, I wouldn't want to see it. Okay, maybe I don't want to go on how they came and what.
It was
but
terrible, yes.
It was
Very
terrible,
terrible.
but I mean, this space, this earth belongs to each and every human being. Yeah.
All right. The argument of Jesus being white, you know,
Yeah, that one. That one.
it's one of the arguments I've been in high school. You know?
Yeah.
And I came to say to people, hey man, you know, God or Jesus was traveling a lot.
Yeah.
And you know, like we are saying, the downside of the white, one of them is their skin. You know,
Yeah.
they don't need more of the sun, or you will see them. Hey, you're going
They
through a
become
lot.
red and what?
Yeah. So then they go through a lot with the
Hey, yeah.
as we are blessed with.
Yeah, you can stand there.
You know,
He can
yeah.
he can sit there.
I always
Yeah.
say to the people, hey man, if he was white, man, you not think he was going through a lot with his skin. You know?
Yeah.
If he was
Kind of.
white, but I don't know from you guys. The argument, Jesus is white.
Yeah.
Which one?
Not even close. Just not even close to being white. Well, I can say he's close to being white in as far as an Arabic person or someone in the Middle East is close to being white.
Oh yes.
So,
yeah.
firstly, his nationality, or at least his skin color, it was not white the way it's presented.
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
blue eyes, the blonde hair. That's more of a Caucasian, North, Netherlandic, Scandinavian type Jesus. That's not how he was.
That one is
It's
an
a
agenda.
it's an agenda. It's a false depiction. But he himself was more whatever skin color the Middle Eastern people were at that time. Some argue that it is the same as the Pakistanis now, but
Okay.
some argue that it's a bit less because he was. One of the reasons is he had to hide in Egypt. And Egypt was
It's a
Africa.
hot
It was
place.
hot, and they had dark people. So they argue that he had to look like the Egyptians in order for him to actually blend in.
Yes.
So it's more likely that he was darker, Pakistani but darker.
Somewhere there.
But here's the key: doesn't matter.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
completely irrelevant. Why do I say this? If Jesus was in fact black, what does that mean for the Chinese person? If he was black, what does it mean for the Mongolian?
No,
For the
they
Brazilian.
don't match. Yeah.
For the Tasmanian, what does it mean? Does it mean that they are second tier for salvation? Paul writes that salvation is first to the Jew. That means
Yeah.
who was inside there for them to hear it, then to the Greek. That
Yeah.
means it's to everybody else.
Everyone now.
Like you said in the beginning, you are quoting Revelations chapter 14. To every nation, kindred, tongue. and
Yes,
people.
yes.
So the everlasting
yes.
gospel is for everybody. So Christ's skin color is completely irrelevant.
Ah.
They only use it and make him white so that they can perpetuate this thing that it's a white man's
The white
religion.
man religion.
So that
yeah.
you can reject it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe that's why a lot of black people rejected it.
100%.
When it later came now with their colonialism agenda.
Later is very important. They came later.
Later now.
Later.
Yeah, when they came later, because that's the agenda.
That's the agenda.
Because now we were tracing back in the Bible how African people were moving with God.
Yes.
You know, so this is just an agenda. So for me, it doesn't matter. Because even in the Bible, it's not revealed as Christ white. The skin color of Christ in the Bible, it was never revealed.
And those people then, they probably knew exactly what color Christ was. But they accepted him anyway. The black people there, they accepted him anyway.
It was
Because
just
it's
simple
irrelevant.
as that.
In fact, if you look in Revelations, what now matters is Christ's current skin color.
Okay.
Why? The Bible says we don't know what he looks like, but we know we'll be like him because we'll see him as he is. That's Paul writing. Oh no, I think it's John writing. And it gives a description in Revelation what he looks like. It says he has white hair, he has bronze feet, and it mentions all these things about his glorified body. So he does not look like any ethnicity now.
Okay.
So he's not a Chinese, he's not Indian, he's not black, he's not white, he's not
None of
Scandinavian.
those.
No, he's got a glorified body, which we will be like at the end of time. So
Yes.
what matters is his glorified body, not what he was.
What we are
It's
just
completely
arguing.
irrelevant.
Because in the Bible, what is revealed, it was his identity to say he was Jewish.
Yes,
This is what we only
that's
know.
what we know.
The rest.
Yeah, the rest,
Whatever color they were, that's
the
they
rest
could have
is-
been purple. It's irrelevant.
Oh, the color of
Color.
the
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
pink.
I mean, the rest is just people, trying to just an agenda, to downgrade other people.
Downgrade others, yeah.
You see,
Lock
yeah.
them out.
So what we only know here, Jesus was Jewish. Yeah, that is what we were given by the Bible.
The question answers the question that I didn't ask to say, does it matter though? Because many people, I don't get the
like
around.
the first day.
Why does it matter which color it is? What
And it
matters
doesn't
is how
even
we
concern our salvation.
Yeah.
It's
doesn't.
political.
It's
human beings,
political,
we
yeah,
have
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
tendency to want to become exclusive. See, the more Christ opens up the gospel, the more people want to make it exclusive. So those white colonialists, they want to make it exclusive that they
They
are
had
at
to
the
say,
top.
we came with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what they create is they create a swing. So they make it white. And then when the pendulum swings the other side, the blacks now say, no, we are the original Jewish. So it's for us only. All these whites, they're not going to make it.
very political.
You see,
Yeah.
so
It's very,
people-
it's
They
very
get
much
split.
politics
It's political.
than
It's political.
than people being saved. Because
Exactly.
Christ came to save people. So you realize that all these arguments about Paul, saying how we have power, we can also rule and what.
Exactly. We're
You
the
understand?
ones.
We
We're
are
the chosen ones.
We are the chosen. It's no longer about actually why did Christ came? Why did he came? Because he came for the whole world. He died for everyone. Black, white, Indian, Chinese. He died for everyone.
In fact,
So,
being, like you're saying, being chosen, I think people are choosing the easy version of being chosen because it's easier to identify with something you already are. You don't have to change yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If I want to identify with Christ and Christ is black, I just need to make him black and then I'm
Yeah,
together with
I'm
Jesus.
him. Yeah.
But Christ said, no, for you to be chosen, you need to choose me and repent and sacrifice your life to me. That's hard.
That's very hard.
That's the hard part. So
That's
people,
very,
no. We don't want that version. We just want to identify with you rather than being transformed by the renewing of the what? Of the mind.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Hey, that's powerful.
All right. Like I was saying, it does. You know what you said? There's something that it came to my mind to say. This thing or the political
Politics.
part of the color of Jesus, in a way, even though maybe we are not really concerned about it, it does and it will lead someone astray from God because
Sure.
Yes.
you become so obsessed, so focused.
People are obsessed, man.
Yeah. All right, but in conclusion, I want to know if there's anything that we should have talked about that maybe we didn't touch in the conversation.
From you, Andre. You can go first, my guy.
Yeah. This topic is very hard.
It is.
If I
And it's
want to
very
be
broad
honest,
also,
it's
yeah.
broad,
a
right?
very broad one. Maybe what I could say is, in our context, coming down here in Africa, God, even to say He chose Israel, it's not like there was something very much special about the Israelites.
Yeah.
No. Remember, God choosing Israel, actually, his mission there was Israel was to show God's glory, to show how God wants to be worshipped. The other nations surrounding Israel, Israel was supposed to show God to everyone. So even coming down to us, since God wants to be known by everyone, it doesn't matter your background. So it's us being Africans. It's not exclusive, not something which we need to hold on to. Say no. This is our identity.
Yeah.
Anything out of this, because actually you being an African, you never, because now it's like people chose to be African. If you listen to them when they are speaking against the Bible and Christianity, like they chose in their homes to say, no, I want to be born in Africa. We never chose. You just find yourself here, and God had a purpose why you are down here. So it doesn't matter the background.
Yeah.
Christ, he wants to save all of us. That is the wish of God.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. That was the initial plan for him dying. Because the problem is sin, actually.
True.
That is the problem we need to deal with. Sin.
Yeah.
These other things, it's just, and politics, like what you were saying, in colors and what. This is just unnecessary. Yeah.
True. I like what you say. Maybe I'll to add to that. Maybe like an example. Like maybe let me ask you. On a physical level, is my life easier compared to, say, Usain Bolt or Messi? Messi is the greatest soccer player of all time.
Yeah.
That one's not an argument. He's the greatest soccer player of all time. So
He's bringing something.
So for those two guys, and maybe let me even add Miss World. Miss Universe.
Miss Universe,
These
or
people
even
are,
Cristiano Ronaldo.
yes, even Cristiano.
I see you said, you know why I brought you? Yeah, I saw he's a Messi guy.
So if you bring all those guys, you bring even Cristiano.
Yeah.
At a physical level, even in terms of discipline, whose life is harder, mine or theirs?
You.
Yes.
Theirs.
Actually, they are.
Why?
They're a public figure.
Yes, and
Everyone knows them.
Everybody knows them. They have to. In order for you to win, you need to be strict and disciplined.
Very strict. And
So who is it easier for, if you're talking about favoritism, the other nations or Israel?
Israel was on the light,
Spotlight.
They were on the spotlight. Yeah,
It was
Israel.
hard for them.
It was hard for them.
Dude,
Yeah.
so it's easy for us to say that Israel was a chosen nation. God loves them, but
Ah,
they went through some stuff.
Yeah, but
Hey,
honestly,
dude,
if you
if you now look at it,
oh,
actually to be chosen, it was like they were on a corner.
It's not like God just chose them and then he started embellishing them with honey and milk.
nice
And
things
no,
that-
he said you're going to a place of milk and honey, but on your way there, you're going to spend 38 years in the wilderness.
That's tough.
So that discipline was hard.
It
You
is.
see, they were bitten by snakes. They had to. Moses had to create a rod with a
rod,
snake on it
yes.
to look so they can
Yeah.
live. So they battled fate. They battled snakes. They battled Pharaoh. They were wearing the same clothes
Clothes.
for
Yo,
40 years.
growing
how is
up
that
with
even
them,
possible?
growing up with the song.
They were
Man,
enslaved by the nations, so they didn't have an easy life.
it was not easy.
You see,
It was never
being,
easy.
being chosen doesn't mean that you are favored to the abandonment of everybody else. It means they're chosen to be a figure for the rest of the world. So they had
that's
to be
tough.
they had to be in a straight road, straight and narrow. No, there was no wide. It wasn't wide. Straight and
Yeah,
narrow.
it wasn't even a white agenda. you
Exactly.
see now.
It was strict. So just
Yeah.
like these guys, the athletes who have to win and compete for gold medals against the best people in the world, they're chosen to be there because they passed the certain benchmark. But it's not easy.
yeah,
No.
Their lives are not
man.
easy. So we
Nah.
shouldn't, like you're saying, we shouldn't use this choosing of Israel as if God is unfair. Because those guys went through the most. They went through the
They
most.
went through the most, man.
Just to add up, maybe one relevant thing that most of us can relate to say, you see, even like the discipline our parents have to have, because
Yeah.
they are the figures in our life.
You
So
see,
it is not easy.
not
they
easy.
go through
It's
the
not
most.
easy.
not
Yeah,
easy.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I
It
get
it may look nice, like they do
Ah.
whatever they want. They have all,
But,
because you always
uh,
think they have all the money.
you
in the
know?
world. When else can I have money? They're like, no, I don't have money. They're like, but you're grown up. How do you not have money? They're going through the
Yo,
most.
Hey, man.
So things look easy and nice on the surface, but when you dig deeper, you realize that when
realize,
God
yo.
chooses somebody, He's choosing them to be chaste and to be chaste. I mean to be straight, to stand up high, and to be a model to the rest of the world, which is not an easy.
That was not an easy task. Yeah.
In conclusion, Rhythm and Charles, we have a tradition to say, please just leave one question.
Yeah.
We aimed any question, doesn't matter any question.
For the next guest,
that's
yeah.
coming. Yeah.
Okay. My question is God fair?
Hey.
These are, yeah.
And I think it falls in line with what we're discussing.
Yeah.
Is God fair?
Yo, we can even have a whole topic around
On that one, yeah. Is
Fair.
God fair?
Yo.
And actually, I think that is the question which is actually out there.
Yeah.
You really look at it and see how things are unfolding in this world.
Yo, it's a nice question.
Because if you discover he's fair, then maybe you can choose him. If he's not fair, maybe you don't choose him.
Yo. All
So
right.
it's even a question to the viewers.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Also,
Yeah.
if you have any question, please leave it in the comments.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Okay, Lord.
we'll try to answer them and to say, man, I enjoyed this conversation.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Yes. No,
Yeah,
thank
thanks
I
so
enjoyed
much.
it. You guys you're very what you call this, knowledgeable. I've learned so much from you guys.
No. We
I'll
thank
learn
you,
from
man.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're actually
Yeah.
learning.
I'm trying to understand these things also.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you so much.
it is a hard topic.
It's a hard one.
Africa and the Bible,
Africa in the Bible.
And I feel
Yeah.
like we haven't even touched the surface.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah,
it was a
there's
good
a lot.
intro.
There's a
I know
lot.
you'll deal with it extensively,
Yeah.
even in the next episodes.
No, definitely. Yeah.
Africa and the Bible, ladies and gentlemen. From Rhythm and Chaz, we out, yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
Tampo.
Bashirena